Hey everyone, this is Steve, and I want to talk to you today about the grip. There is not one way to grip the club, although you might find that in golf instruction there's classically been a tendency to teach people towards the middle, gripping with kind of a side-on style grip, where you're seeing maybe two knuckles on this side, and the line in the right hand is pointing up to the shoulder. That is a type of grip that certain people are predisposed to do, but not everyone, and that's what I want to talk about today. There's actually a more useful taxonomy or a way of viewing the grip, and that is with primarily the position of the right hand. If you put your right hand more on a what's called a cover position, that's going to promote a different leg action than if you put it on a under position or on a side-on position. All right, let's get a little bit into that. Now, when I grip the club at a side-on position and I were to open my hand, you would see that it is basically the hand palm is pointing straight to the side, and that is exactly the vector of force that is being applied. If I were to put my hand on a side cover position and open up the palm, you'll see that the hand now is pointing down and to the left. Yeah, and that is the vector of force for that grip. So that will promote more of a fade type of shot pattern. If you're gripping at a side cover position, that also promotes a bit more vertical force from the legs. If I were to put my hand more in an under position, called side under, then you will see that my hand, if I open it up, is pointing more out to the right and slightly up, and that will promote more of an in to out swing pattern and more of a draw ball flight. The ground reactive force that I'll be using with my legs will be more of a lateral force. So that comports nicely with that. If I had to go with a straight side-on position, then the ground reactive force that is being promoted there is the rotational force. Now, every golfer uses all three, but there'll be a different cocktail for each golfer, and the grip, the type of grip that you have, specifically where the right hand is very important for determining how your legs are going to work in the golf swing. But there'll be more on that on a later video. Let's just stick with the grip for now. If I was to turn to the side, I'm going to show you a couple of positions here. A side-on grip will produce a 9 o'clock position that is more or less down the line, and the toe will be pointing maybe 5 to 10 degrees down. It's not going to be straight up. It's not going to be very shut. It's going to be about right there. And as I swing through, the club will go slightly to the left. That is called a corner release. Now, if I grip in more of a side cover position, what you'll see then is that the club face will be pointing a little bit more down, and the shaft will be a little bit in front of the target line. It won't be on the line, it'll be a little bit more in front of the line. You'll see players on tour who grip like this, taking it back, looking a little bit more shut, and the hands are a little back and the club is a little bit in front. That would be like a Ricky Fowler or Sergio Garcia. And what will happen is the release pattern will go down to the left, and you'll see it emerge under the shoulder on the other side as they go up. That's called a cover release. Now, if I take a side under grip and I take it back to a 9 o'clock, it should have the toe should be pointing more or less to the sky, and it's quite okay if the shaft is behind the line, and the release is going to go out more to the right. That's going to be more of what's called an extension release, and all the players who are under golfers on tour have a draw bias, and if they're not playing a draw, it's because they've adjusted their stance some way. But that will just, if all things remain equal, tend to produce more of a draw flight pattern. Now, the big question is, what type of grip should you be doing? Well, each person has a certain predisposition, and one way you can kind of find out what yours is you can basically put your arms together like this and just swing your arms back and kind of see which direction they fold. As you can see, my right elbow seems to be pointing out a little bit. It's behind my body. That's because I have more of a cover grip, side cover grip. If your arms do that, that might be an indication that should be the type of grip that you're doing. Now, if your elbow is just right on the edge of your torso, and that's more of a side-on position. And if you take it back and it folds quite a bit under, and you get a lot of supination here in the right arm, then that's going to be more of a side-on position. Okay, so if that test isn't reliable enough for you, or if you have doubts, another way to do it is to basically take your club and swing with one hand, waist high to waist high, and you're just basically going to try out different positions on the club, and you'll see if you're gripping in a cover position, the club is going to be more like that. It's going to go more to the left. The club will just want to go there. You'll notice that right away, and if that feels stable and good to you, that might be an indication that you're going to be more of a cover player. If you grip it more under, it's going to be open and behind the line and swinging out to the right, and if that feels stable and good to you, then that's going to be an indication that you're an under player. Now, in the side-on player will have just basically on the line and only slightly to the left as it comes through. Okay, so that's a lot to try out, but go ahead and give it a go, and if you need help with that, then go ahead and schedule a lesson.